Hey guys, it is TFTV here. We have got Wads here.
Hiya.
We are previewing the Cardiff game. So, what do you think going into Sunday's game?
I mean, I'm going to the game, so I'm feeling even more nervous. But yeah, it's not the best situation, really, is it? Being obviously 24th in the league, so I think this is obviously a game we have to win, but it isn't an easy opponent at all in Cardiff. In the league, anyway, we don't have the best home record against them at home. So, when we won away the last 2 years, to be fair, but yeah, it's going to be difficult. That's all I know. It's going to be difficult, and it could get quite toxic, I think, if we do go behind.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, both teams don't play the most sets out in football either.
No.
But on another sense, how do you feel, especially with the transfer business, what we're doing? How do you feel about the new signings?
I mean, I think most of them really, I'm pretty excited about. I mean, I'm excited about all of them, to be fair, but there are a few that I think most of us wouldn't have been aware of, like Ajada and Drager. I hope I'm saying that right. Obviously, I've heard of Xander Silva, but I've not seen that much of him. So, in Rodrigo, I wasn't aware of at all. But it's going to be interesting to see how those lads do. I think Ajada can't play for the first few games because of that COVID thing that happens. So that's a bit of an annoying one. But the likes of Garner and Zinkernagel and Tutu have looked really good so far, and I think they'll be really important.
Yeah, I know the right back from Olympiacos can't play either because of set COVID. So, would you shake it up for Sunday as well, especially after the second half against Derby?
Yeah, probably. I think obviously we can't always play that like that, but it's what we prefer. So I think we went to like 2 strikers against Derby in the second half. I probably wouldn't start 2 strikers, but just at least try and play a bit more attacking minded, as I think we all say that we need to be a bit more forward thinking, really, don't we? But yeah, I think we should definitely play some of the new guys, the ones that are available. Like, it's going to be interesting to see what happens at right back now. Gabriel ain't there. We've got a lot of options, haven't we? Spence and obviously Drager when he can play. 2-2 back. It's going to be interesting.
Oh, definitely. I mean, that right back spot going to be quite intense to get into now. So, especially, yeah. I don't want to say that. Would you like to see like Sink and Garner in that centre midfield like there was against Derby? Would you like to see like a Garner and the usual Cavalier? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, definitely Garner. Obviously, he's integral to us. I think it would have been amazing if we got him as one of our actual players. But yeah, we've got to make the most of him while he's here. Zinkernagel been just as good so far, in my opinion. I think Yates will probably play against Cardiff. I would have liked to have seen, obviously, the likes of Ajada play, but that's not an option right now. So, yeah, I mean, at the very least, I want, obviously, Zinkernagel and Garner to play. I don't know about putting both of them in midfield. I think there's always that difficult one with Carvalho, whether they should start him or not. I think against Cardiff anyway, given what we have, I'll probably play Garner and maybe Yates and then Johnson, to be honest, in midfield.
There's still that big debate about Carvalho. Should we start him? Shouldn't we start him?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that going into this game?
I like Carvalho, but at the same time, I do also see why he does get a bit of criticism. But I also see why he gets praise as well because he makes things happen. But he started the last 2 games and he didn't really do that much. Even he got subbed at half time against Derby, so that kind of says it all. But he's not a bad player at all. I think maybe he's more of a player that we should just have as an impact player, maybe if we're struggling. Which, let's face it, might be quite often this season. So I wouldn't start Carvalho right now, but he's definitely a player we should keep hold of.
Yeah, definitely. There's been a bit of a thing about, especially with the set pieces. I mean, Cardiff scores a lot of goals from set pieces after this season, and Forest seem to not defend set pieces at the minute. So, do you feel that the set pieces on Sunday could be crucial?
Yeah. I mean, they always are, to be fair, but it's true. We do like to concede from set pieces quite a bit, don't we? Really, we don't score from them that much. I mean, we did against Bournemouth actually from that free kick, but it's something we do need to work on for sure.
Yeah, definitely. What's your score predictions for Sunday?
It's difficult, isn't it? I mean, I want to say, well, we need to win. It's an absolute must. But I have a horrible feeling about it. Like it might just be 1-0 to Cardiff or even 2-0. But I'd like to think we can get just at least a draw from it. But at the stage of the season we're at, I know it's still very early on. We've got to get a win on the board. But I do fear, while Chris Hughton's still here, it's not going to change.
Are you Hooten in or Hooten out?
I probably would be leaning towards out. And I know there's always that thing saying we need to give the manager time and that, and I completely agree with that. But he's had over a year. He's not quite a year, but he pretty much is a year now in charge. And I do think we probably did expect a little bit more from Houghton. He would have maybe progressed it a bit more. I know we've signed a lot of new lads, but it's not at all encouraging the start to his first, full season. So I probably would maybe make a change. And I've seen rumours about Chris Wilder. I wouldn't mind him coming in, to be quite honest. I probably would prefer him to Houghton. And it kind of does ring a little bit true because we've signed Spence and Lowe, who are more wing backs, and that's what he played at Sheffield United. And I heard, I don't know how true this is, I heard that Rodrigo was linked with Sheffield as well when Wilder was there. So there are quite a few things lining up. Maybe that might happen, but we'll wait and see.
Yeah, definitely. There was that one that Daniel Taylor said in the week on a podcast. I can't remember what podcast it was, but he was saying that he wants Steve Cooper as well.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be against that, to be honest. I know a Swansea fan, and he says he's not much different to Houghton in terms of like how he plays, but I mean, we have to see what happens with the manager front, really, don't we?
Yeah, definitely. So I'd like to say thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
That's right. I'd like to thank you for watching, guys.